Hey, a very warm welcome to our Miracle Mondays. My name is Reverend Lisa Windsor, and I'm so delighted that you are here and that you've come to join. And we always start with an opening prayer. So we are sharing here about the teachings of A Course in Miracles. And so we use course terminology, and our inner teachers are the Holy Spirit and Jesus, if you're studying the course. But never let terminology deter you from hearing the deeper message, because the deeper message is really just love. That's what it is. So I just, some people when they're new to the course, they just have a lot of resistance around certain terms, and so I always just invite you to kind of hold steady, and even if it's helpful, you can replace terms that don't feel resonant with you. You can say love instead of God. You can say spirit instead of Jesus. You can use your own terminology that works. And eventually, if you stay steady with it, you will allow all judgment of the terminology to actually wash away. That's what's happened over time. That's what I've noticed over time. It definitely happened in my own mind. And then there was this kind of humor that the Holy Spirit would come through with, and he would say, I don't care if you call me pancake. Please just hold steady with me. It's like, no, let's go beyond the words. So just know the words is not what is important. They can be guides and they can help direct us, but it's really the essence of those words, the love that's inspiring them, which is what I would want you to come into this space and experience. Okay, so this is meant to be a space of non-judgment and unconditional love and welcoming so that we can receive the gifts and the blessings that we are meant to come and receive. And there is a gift and blessing for all of us here. Each and every one of us will leave with some insight, some blessing that will help you propel you along the way, right? Because if you can hear the Holy Spirit, what he wants to tell you, even if you are resisting and fighting, is he wants to tell you that you're on track. He wants to tell you that you're on track, even if it looks messy, even if there's disorientation, even if you don't think so. The mess is part of the blessing of this whole journey of undoing and unwinding. Okay? Okay, so apparently we aren't starting with the prayer. There's like words before that. But let's go into our prayer time now. I always invite you, if you can and if it's safe, to rest your eyes closed. And let's just turn our awareness inward and take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. We are breathing and we are open to receiving all the gifts and blessings of our time together. And so, as we give ourselves permission to relax, we rest the body, we rest the mind, we soften our emotions, we just deepen in relaxation, letting go of tension, constriction, stress, just letting it melt away. It's safe to let go here. And this allows for our hearts to open up and for our minds to open to the presence of God. And God is perfect love. We are surrounded by the love of God. His love envelops us. Feel his love. Can you sense it? It may be a gentle love for you today, or perhaps a supportive love where you feel held and embraced. He comes in with his gentle strength, and it's very, very powerful. And let us, for this time together, just be willing to release doubt thoughts. Okay? Let's just be willing during this time, if doubt thoughts, comparison thoughts, attack thoughts come into the mind, just be willing to let them come and to let them go. We are learning to focus our attention on the voice for love. The ego is always trying to get our attention. But we are here, holding steady, focusing our attention on the voice for love. In A Course in Miracles, it teaches us that that voice with a capital V is the Holy Spirit, and it is Jesus. And so together, we welcome in our inner teachers. We welcome them into our mind. We recognize their presence in our mind. And we say, Holy Spirit and Jesus, you take the lead. You guide, and we will follow. We will step back and let them guide our every moment. And so we are putting love in charge of our minds. The Holy Spirit and Jesus are holding the awareness of the divine plan, and they actually know what is for the highest good of all. So when they guide us and direct us, it is on behalf of the whole sonship. So we are coming out of the limited perspective of the ego, where we cannot see and we cannot hear and we cannot understand. And we are welcoming new perception. We are welcoming spiritual vision. We are rising above the battleground, and the view is spectacular. So we are in good hands. We are in God's hands. There is the warmest welcome. Each of our presence matters. It is essential. And so there is deep gratitude for you showing up in this moment, in this perfectly, divinely timed moment. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And so let us hold steady in this prayer. It is going to remain open and continuous. It is our communication with God, which is unceasing. And so ever so gently, when you feel ready, you can allow your eyes to open. Okay. So, as I've been sharing, well, for those of you that are new, I'll just let you know that our Miracle Mondays, I will teach usually the first and third Mondays of the month. And then our leadership team, they have a roundtable discussion on the second and fourth Mondays at the same time. And it's so wonderful. It's experiential. Such a beautiful space. So this week I'll be with you. And then next Monday, the leadership team who you'll meet, and all of them, I think you guys can raise your hands. Many of you are here yeah, there they are. There's some of them. Um, and they'll be holding the space and just extending such a beautiful opportunity for joining and discussion. And so I encourage you to come to the Mondays and have the experience of the teaching, and then like a little extra of the experiencing in the following week. Okay, so um, what's opened up since September is that there's guidance towards looking more deeply at the text. And it's been coming in slowly. I definitely go deep with the workbook with our Activate program. We have a whole year-long program that is deep into the workbook. And it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful program. And our minister training program is in a way deep into the manual for teachers because it's all about stepping into ministry, stepping into being a miracle worker, moving through the curriculum. So I love that Jesus and the Holy Spirit are bringing in the text to our Miracle Mondays. It just feels kind of sparkly, to be honest, and deep and kind of rich. If you are familiar with modern miracles and kind of my style, I'm very, very practical. And so that's sometimes why I think I've probably not gone super deep into teaching the text, although the text is always in the backdrop of the teaching. But I trust Jesus, I trust Holy Spirit that they're going to bring it through in a way that is sparkly and exciting for us. Okay. So today I'm feeling to cover sections 2, 3, and 4 of chapter 1 of the text. Now, the reason that I'm not covering section 1 is because we went deep into the miracle principles the last 6 months. And there is on our YouTube channel, there are all the gatherings on all the miracle principles, which is so awesome. I did 5 a week and we went through 6 months of miracle principles. So that's been covered. And last week, or a couple weeks ago, we looked at the introduction to the course. So we're kind of just like slowly making our way into the text. The perspective I'm feeling to share with you actually has a lot to do with our brother Jesus. So one of the things that came to my awareness when I was going through the miracle principles was actually when I came across, I think it was Miracle 27. Okay, so Miracle Principle 27 says, a miracle is a universal blessing from God through me to all my brothers. It is the privilege of the forgiven to forgive. What's significant about that is that Jesus, for the first time, is speaking directly about himself, right? He says, it is a universal blessing from God through me. So all of a sudden, there's this sense like, who is this me that's happening, right? Who is this me that's speaking to us, that's connecting with us? If we go down a little bit further in the miracle principles, he says, I inspire all miracles, which are really intercessions. They intercede for your holiness and make your perceptions holy. What's significant about that is, again, Jesus is coming in and telling us that he's the one that inspires all miracles. I think a lot of us that start with A Course in Miracles, we may not even be aware that the voice of A Course in Miracles is Jesus's voice, right? We might not even be aware. When I looked up the word I, because when he speaks about himself, he often refers to I. It's more than 2,000 places in the course. He is speaking to us very, very directly. So I kind of feel like that's kind of the filter he's bringing us through, just looking at the first part of the text. He's saying, you have a relationship with me that you may not be fully aware of, but I'm introducing myself to you in essence. And I want you to open up to building real and right relationship with me. Okay, so I'm going to be very honest with you. When I started A Course in Miracles, it took me about 3 years to deal with my relationship with Jesus. I kind of accepted that it was Jesus, but I didn't know who he was, so I kind of put him over here on the side. And about 3 years into my studying, I realized I better deal with my relationship with him because I'm so serious about this course that I can't actually leave him out of the picture. But my point is that it is okay if we don't recognize and directly go to that relationship at first. I just went with the Holy Spirit and they are interchangeable in essence. So it was okay to do so. But it came to a point because I didn't grow up with Jesus. I didn't grow up with religion. I didn't grow up with any spirituality. He was a distant idea for me. I didn't know his history. So when I addressed him, I said to him, Jesus, very sincerely, Jesus, who are you to me? Who are you to me? Because I don't know in context to all of who you are to others. I don't connect with that. And so that was a really deep connecting moment. And I let go, right? It's just like when we speak with Holy Spirit and Jesus, it's not like we're demanding answers from them, but we're coming with sincerity with the question. And when it's a sincere question, there's always an answer. And so, to be honest, you guys, Jesus showed up basically as a comedian in my mind. That's the essence of how Jesus showed up for me. Making jokes. He actually like there was just like it was so far from what I thought would how he would answer me. Like super lighthearted, again, like funny. He's very funny. And that's how he came in. And it taught me something really, really significant. And it was he knows how to reach each of us. It didn't feel like he was coming in with any baggage or any history of himself. It didn't feel like we needed that in the space. He just met me in a place where I could hear him and laugh with him. And I thought, this is not what I expected, but that's where we started building the relationship from. I will tell you one other thing that's very funny about my relationship with Jesus. So there were some miracles. I have 4 kids, and there were some miracles about how I kind of like got pregnant the 4th time. It was kind of unexpected. And I really wanted a 4th child. I really felt connected, like there is supposed to be another baby. I ended up giving birth to that 4th child on Christmas Day, right? Like on what I would call Jesus's birthday. I know there's some controversy about that, but like basically that was Jesus's birthday. And I would, first of all, you guys, if you knew me, I would never plan to have a baby on Christmas. That's the first thing. But this baby came on Christmas Day, and I'm in labor. And Jesus is in my mind saying to me, I'm in like having contractions. Okay. And he's saying to me, you're not really taking this body thing seriously, are you? That's what he's saying to me when I'm in the middle of a contraction. That's what I'm saying about his humor, right? Because he was like, you're not a body. But like, and I was laughing. No one knew why I was laughing, but I was actually laughing throughout my labor because he was making really sweet, funny jokes about, just again, lightening things up. So that was sort of like the foundation of like him coming into my mind. I think I finally got up the courage to welcome him. And here he comes with all this delight and all this love and all this humor. So he will come into your awareness in a way that warms your heart, in a way that relates to you, in a way that connects with you. And it's perfect. He doesn't come in with history, really. He doesn't come in, he comes in so present and will bring us all that we need to actually make that, again, relationship so deep and beautiful. So, but he's introducing himself to us, right? In the text. And one of the things I tell people, and this is very basic, but it's very important. If you can't hear the voice of the Holy Spirit, if you feel that you can't hear the voice of Jesus, just read the book because he's literally written it down. That's his voice. He's written down his words so that there's no problem if you're not hearing directly. Like if the words right now and the teachings are a bridge, that's absolutely perfect. That's absolutely perfect. He says he wrote them down for us. He said that's not really that doesn't go that far in our community. It's like I can't hear the voice. I'm like, okay, like go to the book and he's talking right to you. Like it's for you. It's the course is actually not for anyone else, right? It's actually for you. It's for your mind. It's not for anyone else. If we think about how there's just one of us, this course is actually in our mind. We've called it forward as an answer, right? Jesus is in our mind. It's symbolic of the answer to our deepest prayer to remember the truth of who we are. Okay. So I'm just going to read a couple things. I'm not going to go like crazy into like all the words. There's a lot of words in here, but um there's just this part I want to read to you. Okay. So he says here, he's telling us about ourselves, which is so sweet. He says, "You are a perfect creation." And he tells us, he's kind of talking about in this spot, he's talking about the difference between revelation and miracles right off the bat. Like revelation is like a direct experience of God, like a direct experience of oneness with God. And in that space, there's no words to describe it. It's only an experience. And so he's saying you're here more practically to work miracles, which are actionable, whereas revelation is just requires revelation readiness, and then we have the experience. So he says you are a perfect creation and should experience awe only in the presence of the creator of perfection. So if you have a revelatory experience, you will experience awe. And it's completely appropriate to experience awe in the presence of God. But he says that the miracle is actually a sign of love among equals, right? So in an experience of awe, we're looking to one higher, right? We're looking up to God and being in awe of him. But he's talking about miracles being a sign of love among equals. And he tells us equals should not be in awe of one another because awe implies inequality. It is therefore an inappropriate reaction to me. Okay. Now that might be a shift for some people because Jesus is coming in and he's asking us to come into relationship with him from a course perspective. And he's saying, don't put me on the pedestal. Don't put me on the, don't place me in a hierarchy above you. We are actually here to stand together. We are equals. And you should not be in awe of me. Okay, he's asking you, do not be in awe of me because it will come from, be rooted in the thought of separation and inequality. Okay. He does say this though, and I think it's so like relatable for us. He says, an elder brother is entitled to respect for his greater experience and obedience for his greater wisdom. He is also entitled to love because he is a brother, and to devotion if he is devoted. It is only my devotion, he tells us, that entitles me to yours. It's just that his own devotion entitles him to our devotion because he's so devoted, wholly devoted. He tells us there is nothing about me that you cannot attain. I have nothing. He says, there is nothing about me that you cannot attain. I have nothing that does not come from God. The only difference between us now is that I have nothing else. This leaves me in a state which is only potential in you. Okay? Our brother Jesus accepted the atonement for himself, wholly and completely on behalf of all of us. He doesn't have an ego. He doesn't have anything else, right? He's not, he is undone, unwound, purified from the ego thought system. And so he even goes on, and this is where you have to like hold such like an open heart when you're reading the text, because you can get, if you want controversy, you'll find it in here. Let me tell you, right? If you want to get caught up in all the theory, you can get caught. But that's not what we're doing here. So we're going to kind of like stay in the essence of what he's sharing. And he says, "No man cometh unto the Father but by me." Does not mean that I am in any way separate or different from you, except in time. And time does not really exist. Okay, so what he's saying to us is that you are going to, on some level, look to me as your guide, look to me as your elder brother, see that I have surpassed things that you have not surpassed yet. But it's just an illusion of time that says that we're any different. And I don't want you to get caught up in that. Okay? So we can think of him, we can look to him, let him guide us, not from a place of awe, but from a place of deep, devoted respect, right? From the deepest respect. And he tells us, the statement is more meaningful in terms of a vertical rather than a horizontal axis. And I talk a lot about this. Our relationship with Jesus and the Holy Spirit is vertical. It's not on the level of the world. It's vertical. And so we can, in essence, think of him above us. Actually, I often say, if we think about our mind, it can be kind of helpful to think that the ego is sort of the lower order of mind, that horizontal world, and that our higher mind is where Jesus and the Holy Spirit abide. And so often in our forgiveness process, I'm like, lift it to the higher part of your mind, just lift it up. When we rise above the battleground, we're rising above to look with them on the whole perspective, on their whole wide, expansive perception of things. Right? So of course, it's all symbolic, you guys, right? There's no lower and higher in truth and oneness, but we can use these symbols. We can use them to help us ascend the ladder. Ascending the ladder is a symbol, right? Home to the awareness of who we are. So let me just see. Yeah, and then he says this. So he says, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it says, he was talking about the vertical axis. It's better to think about him vertically. He says, you stand below me and I stand below God. So it's go God and then Jesus, and then we are there. And in the process of us rising up above the battleground, of us rising up above this world, I am higher because without me, the distance between God and man would be too great for you to encompass. He knows that he is the bridge. He is our bridge. He is our bridge. He is our intercession. He is interceding on our behalf to narrow the gap between God and where we seem to stand in this idea of separation. He says, I bridge the distance as an elder brother to you on the one hand, and as a son of God on the other. He stands between. Not from a place of awe, not from a place of worship, not from a place of hierarchy, but he is our demonstration of what we are going to achieve. All of us will wake, just like Jesus woke. All of us. So he is guiding us. He is leading us. He has this amazing demonstration. How wonderful. He's our guide. And he's like, I'm coming in with you guys. I want you to relate to me, to connect with me. I want you to not be afraid to reach to me. I don't want you to be afraid to reach to me. So he's introducing himself that way. Okay, I want to read a little bit from Atonement and Miracles. So this is like the third section. So he's telling us like right at the beginning, he's like, I am in charge of the process of atonement, which I undertook to begin, which I think means like he began the plan of atonement because he accepted it on behalf of all of us first. Like he's taken the lead for this awakening. So, what is the process of atonement? If we think about the word atonement, it means the acceptance that the separation from God never occurred. It means that we accept that the separation from love never happened. The plan of atonement is like all of the miracles, all the whole plan to wake up the mind is like the plan of atonement. And we're all involved in the plan of atonement. But Jesus is the lead of the atonement. Okay. So I love this. Okay. He says, as you share my unwillingness to accept error in yourself and others, you must join the great crusade to correct it. So as we become unwilling to deal with the errors of the ego, we're not accepting the error of the ego and the error of separation anymore. We actually have to join his great crusade to correct the misperception that we have separated from God. And he says here, listen to my voice. Learn to undo error and act to correct it. The power to work miracles belongs to you. He tells us, I will provide the opportunities to do them, but you must be ready and willing. But you must be ready and willing. Okay? So he's telling us about our purpose, right? He's telling us about our part. He's telling us that we are going to be joining him in the Great Crusade. And he's telling us that you cannot join the Great Crusade apart from him, right? Like we need Jesus to wake up. He's telling us that if we're Course in Miracles students and we're walking this path, we need our inner teachers to wake up. We cannot do it apart from them. That's what heals the separation, is the joining in mind with our teachers, the joining in mind with love. Okay, and so I just want to say a couple other things. Oh, he says to us, I am the only one who can perform miracles indiscriminately because I am the atonement. He holds the entire plan of the atonement. He tells you, you have a role in the atonement, which I will dictate to you. Ask me which miracles you should perform. This spares you needless effort because you will be acting under direct communication. Right? He tells us a guide does not control, but he does direct. Jesus is not interested in controlling us. He is here to direct us. And he says, I leave it up to you to follow. It's important. We are not coerced. We are not forced. We are not imprisoned here. It is our choice. It is our choice. You know, lots of people listen and hear. The following is what we're doing at Modern Miracles Academy. I'm like, what is it going to take for you to follow through on the guidance you receive? It takes courage, it takes support, it takes willingness, it takes readiness. And we come into these spaces and we do the forgiveness work together and we join together in coming to the conviction that we are all here to no longer accept the error of the ego, right? And we are here to join the Great Crusade to correct the error in our mind. So he's so wonderful. I don't know if you're getting that from this, but he's just like, he's so wonderful. Okay. Let me just see if there's anything else I do want to actually, I think I might stop there because okay, there's one more thing about Jesus that I'll say. This is actually from the section 4 called The Escape from Darkness. This is just a little bitsy on him as well. He just says this, which I absolutely love. He says, I assure you. Okay, when he starts a sentence with I assure you, I just want you to hear that. Okay, Jesus brings so much assurance and reassurance in the relationship we share with him. I assure you that I will witness for anyone who lets me, and to whatever extent he permits it. So when we call Jesus in to be our eyes, to be our voice, to work through us, he will come through to the extent that we will permit it. That's why it's so important for us to clear the fear from our minds, because the less fear we have, the more he can witness for us. Okay. He says, your witnessing demonstrates your belief. So when we're witnessing on behalf of him, it demonstrates our belief in the truth. And thus it strengthens it. It strengthens the truth. Those who witness for me are expressing through their miracles that they have abandoned the belief in deprivation in favor of the abundance they have learned belongs to them. We are now demonstration of God's love. And that's what the Course says. It says, be a demonstration. That's what we're called to. Be a demonstration of the love of God, that love and God's life and love is intact. That God is not dead, that God lives in us by our demonstration, right? Okay. So that's what I want to share, because there's this deep invitation to embrace actually your relationship with Jesus. Because as I'm reading this, you're going to probably notice this. If you go back now and read sections 2, 3, and 4 from the chapter 1 of the text, I want you to read it listening to him sharing on behalf of himself. He's telling you, I, me, mine. He's talking about himself in relationship to you. It's so beautiful. You got to read it and hear him there. He's talking to you. Of course he's talking to you. Of course he's talking to you. Okay, now just to complete on this, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to just take in the attributes that Jesus brings in his relationship with us. Our teacher Jesus is devoted and loyal. He is available. He is guiding and trustworthy and so deeply supportive. He is, of course, loving. He is our equal. He's gentle and forgiving and deeply committed. He is our bridge. He is our brother. He shares our purpose, and he is so illuminating. He lights up our minds and he lights up our perceptions. So just take him in, take a moment and connect with Jesus in your mind. Welcome this relationship even more deeply. Tell him he is welcome. See him reach his hand to you and take your hand. I assure you, he will not let it go. You are joining this great crusade with him, and he is deeply appreciative. He's honored to walk with you. And so now you go forward in your study of A Course in Miracles, in your experiencing of this course, with your brother Jesus by your side, every step of the way, lighting your path. Okay, so you can gently open your eyes when you're ready. And I just want to thank you for your presence and for your time. If you are interested in continuing to go deeper with A Course in Miracles, I invite you to visit our website at www.modernmiracles.com. And we are here in support of your awakening. So have a blessed, blessed day.